Hey guys, Bobo here with a quick guide in Divinity Original Sin 2 with Thievery. How to get some easy money. This may be considered a little bit cheesy, so if it doesn't fit your style, just don't follow it. But easy money without like actually using mods or any kind of hack like that. So what we did is we have our character, doesn't really matter who, just not your thief, talk to the NPC that's your target, and then get your other characters. You can do this by selecting their portrait on the left hand side and locking up other nearby characters that move around. Pet pal, yeah, whatever. My main character is the pet pal talker. Now, you take your thief, who you left unlocked, and you put him in a nice spot. You can hold shift without going into sneak mode to see everybody's sight range. As you see, since we put them in conversation, they are not moving around anymore, which is gonna keep us in our stealth safely. So you sneak up, and you go to the guy. And now you can look at their inventory as slow as you want without worrying about getting caught out. If you don't take anything, you can come back later and look again. But when you steal something, it's once per game, I believe, per character. So if you have an item with thievery on it, you could put that item on another character and then just make them steal from that character you've already stolen from before. Traders restock every so often, so it's worth revisiting if you're into stealing stuff. If you get caught, like if somebody walks by and sees you pickpocketing, that will count as your attempt, unfortunately. So here we are, which is pretty nice. Now, one of the things that's pretty interesting, which is going to lead up into our next tip, is while backpacks have a weight that counts as your theft, as you see my weight's going up, their value only counts as one, even if there's gold in the backpack, which is going to be a huge thing for our next tip. Some of this I figured out myself, some of it was from Reddit. I highly recommend you going to the Divinity Original Sin Reddit if you're looking for tips and stuff, because my game experience has changed quite a bit just from like 30 minutes of reading that. So we stole, right? And we put the backpack in there, had 12 gold, it only counted one as 1 gold. He's gonna think it's a robbery, even though technically we put the item in his inventory and then took it back out, so that's a little curious. But what you want to do is you want to end the conversations that do not pertain to the character you stole from. So you're unlocking the NPCs around him, and then once done, you can unlock him, and everybody's running away at the same time. It's gonna take him like 2 to 3 seconds to figure out he got stolen from. Ah, a robbery! And if you stay away long enough, he's going to go back to his regular stuff. So just give him a moment. It shouldn't take that long. You might want to say before you do this, and then afterwards, if successful. And we come back and talk to him, and he's a jerk, but we stole from him, so it's fine. But he totally forgot that. Now, these things are marked stolen. We'll solve how to detag stuff in a moment, but let's go and go a little deeper with that bag trick. I've stolen from her before with my main thief, so I have to use my side character. Less thievery points you have, the less weight and value you can take. But our bag, this is kind of an exploit, they might fix it later, but still, even you can still do this trick. But with our bag, right? We're gonna put a whole bunch of gold into our bag. So we go up and we find all the different piles of gold. We give it to the person who's talking to the NPC, and we put it inside of the bag. And while you're doing this, you might want to find items that have value, that are also lightweight, because you're probably doing this on maybe a character who's just using an item to get his thievery points. Check your thievery skill. Make sure with the max weight they can steal, because this is important. You don't want to lose your bag to them. So I see here I went overboard a little bit. I'm going to take out a few items just so I can make sure I meet the weight requirement to take the item away from her. Alright. So it's still a little bit too heavy. There we go. That's not too much. 2 kilograms, and that's a little bit under 2 kilograms, so we're good. Now we just exit out. We go to the character who has the bag we just loaded up and is talking to the NPC currently. Trade. We offer the bag, which has its value. Awesome. Now, let's see how much we can take. Oh, her whole inventory. Great. And there's a surplus still. Oh, she appreciates that we donated money to her. That's cool. So now we have a discount at her store for that character. If you have a bartering character, you want the bartering character to be doing this trade because that affinity doesn't cross over to other characters. You want your bartering on top of your affinity that you just earned so you get a better discount later. So make sure to do this with your bartering character. Anyways, we still have her locked up and talking to the character who is now just beloved because we get donated like a K. But that backpack, we want it back. All of our money is inside of there and we stole it back. It's it's pretty great. Unfortunately, the backpack now counts as stolen, and everything inside of it is also stolen. What this tag means is characters who check you because they think you're suspicious, if they find out you have items that they're stolen that aren't from them, they still might put you through a persuasion check, which you can just make a very persuasive character, I guess, and keep saving and make sure they talk to that persuasive character. Or we can detag them, which is something I'm going to show you next. This may also be hotfixed again. No, like, it might be considered an exploit, but it's nothing, no mods or whatever. So it's important to head over to a shopkeeper who has money to do this, and you plug in your controller so you get this nice controller interface, and go to sell. Now, it does depend on how much money they have. You can do this through other just regular bartering selling, but they're gonna jack up the price of whatever you sold to them. So you better have high persuasion and bartering so that jacked up price, you can buy it back at the amount of money they paid you. But with controller, you get this special feature, so let's just sell it under the sell screen, right? And we go all the way to the right. There's buyback. It's 1-to-1. So whatever they paid you for it, you get back, and the item. But more importantly, you're going to get the item back without the stolen tag. Again, you can do this through the PC with the bartering, but because they're gonna jack up the price on you, you're gonna want to make sure your affinity is high and you're bartering with a character, or with a character with bartering. So the amount of money you lose to remove the stolen tag is not that much. But if you're doing the controller, which actually the controller interface is pretty good, it doesn't work under bartering screen and it doesn't work under donating screen. It has to be the sell screen. It's a pretty cool thing though. I actually think the interface is well made. Final goofy thing you can do: talk to a character, and then behind them, if you're in front of them, they will see it, but behind them, you can steal stuff. Again, we're on the controller interface because why not? But you find something that they can't see, that other people can't see, you can lock them up if you want, and you stole it. And you can go in front of them in the conversation. But they will know it's stolen after the end of the conversation. So you send your characters away. Unfortunately, with the controller, I don't know how to unlink the characters on the left. But it's fine because I just closed conversation, right? And I run away as fast as possible before she realizes something was stolen. So you get a character out of position. You can even teleport them. It's going to lose a little bit of attitude, but you could just donate that attitude back. And then you can take stuff from their area. So teleport, you can use the cloud skill, make sure it's the one that adds invisibility, invisible potions, whatever, to even steal in really tight scenarios where you can't lock everybody up in conversation. But with these tips, you should be extremely wealthy. Also, keep in mind, gold kind of exponentially grows in this game, so Act 1 gold versus Act 2 versus Act 3 is a huge difference. So don't worry yourself too much on while you're in Act 1 because the values are going to change drastically. You could just take what you need. Don't take every single nickel and penny because you're going to be getting $1,000 bills later. Other things that I read on the Reddit that I'd pass on is Lucky Charm is apparently really powerful. If you get a bunch of it, just make sure you're looting with that character, and you get about a bunch of money, not stealing, just selling rare items. And not spoiling when, but at some point you'll be able to respec your character and hire new characters. So you could fill up 2 slots with these new people who haven't stolen before and steal from these people you've been stealing a whole bunch from. Or you can respec a character who's never had Thievery, give them Thievery, and steal from a character with their once per game opportunity. So effectively, you can steal from characters forever and ever and ever. You just have to figure out, you know, moving around points or hiring a new character temporarily, and then firing after they do their dirty deed. So, money shouldn't be a problem. Of course, if you're under the hardcore mode where you only get one save, then repercussions are very serious because you can't save scum anymore. And don't mess up. It can take away from the experience, especially if you don't want to steal. So please don't change your game style just to get the money. Go Lucky Charm instead, which is pretty powerful over time, especially when you get more points into it. Donate and use bartering to also get better deals. But for those who don't mind stealing, or they can imagine that one of their characters is bad and others good, this is awesome. If you like this video, I do play other games, and I do intend to play Divinity, but unfortunately, I don't think I will do very many tutorials on Divinity unless something's like huge somebody wants. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.